Libra, welcome to the realm of astrology. In this video, I'm going to talk about the long-term energies in your chart. Things like where Saturn is, where it's been, what that means for you, things about Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, all the slow-moving energies. And the reason I made this video is because, yes, energies change day to day, month to month, etc. But there are certain underlying energies that can last with us for years, and these are those energies. So let's begin. But before that, I also request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. And I also do daily horoscopes, weekly horoscopes, monthly sun rising sign horoscopes, and you can watch all those on my YouTube channel. All right, so let's talk about this. And watch the video for your rising sign first, right? This is for a Libra rising, so whatever your rising sign is, watch that first and then watch your sun sign. And also this is for a 0-degree Libra, right? Now if you are, say, a 28-degree Libra, if your rising sign starts there, then this reading might not resonate with you. You might resonate more with Scorpio. And also it really depends on where your houses start and finish, how big your houses are. Say if you were born somewhere near the poles, then you might have some really big sized houses, some smaller houses, and that can throw this reading completely off, right? So this is just a general, a lot depends on your personal chart, on your stars. So this is just a basic overview. So I'll begin with that. And the first thing that I'll talk about is Saturn. Now Saturn is here, right? Now Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius right now, Libra. And it has been here since 2020 December. It will be here till 2023 March. And wherever Saturn is in our chart, we feel it very intensely. Saturn is the planet that rules this material reality, but from us, it asks us to work hard. It asks us to be disciplined. And wherever it is transiting, it wants to put things in order. This is not working for you, that is working for you. Let's put it in order. Whether you like it or not, that's what Saturn does. And Saturn comes into a particular house, a particular sign after 28 to 30 years. So it takes about 28 to 30 years to take one round of the zodiac, right? Of this chart. So it enters a particular house after 28-30 years, which means that when it enters a house and puts things in order, asking you to work hard and be disciplined, those changes are set for the next 28 years. They will evolve, yes, but they're set in a way. That's what Saturn does. And although Saturn asks us to work hard, the rewards with Saturn don't always come immediately. They can come after a long time. So that's Saturn energy. Now Saturn is in your 5th house, right? Now this is a point where Saturn is asking you to work towards love, romance, your children, creativity, hobbies, and having fun. These are the areas which Saturn is putting in order, Libra. And it will be till 2023, and this started in 2020. But for you, I think what is more important is where Saturn was till 2020. Before this, Saturn was in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 4th house, okay? From 2017 December to 2020 December, it was in your 4th house. And Saturn doesn't really like to be in the 4th house because it rules the 10th house, the opposite. So here it feels very uncomfortable, which means that when Saturn is transiting the 4th house, it is not an easy transit. The 4th house is our family, it's our home, it's our inner emotions, it's our roots. And when Saturn is asking us to work on these areas, work on our deepest emotions, work on our home, our family, our foundation, it can feel rather difficult. So that was the energy from 2017 to 2020. And now from 2020 to 2023, it's going to ask you to work on children, love, romance, creativity, having fun, pleasure, all those things. And personally, I feel Saturn is easier in the 5th house than it is in the 4th house. 4th house is challenging. because it's really, fourth house has the IC, right? Now this is our deepest core. When Saturn goes through that part, it can feel really difficult because it's putting in order our deepest core, and Saturn does not feel easy. So it's where when our inner emotions are asked to be worked on, as they were for you, Libra, from 2017 to 2020, it would have felt quite challenging. But that's over now, and Saturn is in your fifth house. Another thing I want to mention specifically for you, Libra, is that when Saturn was in Capricorn from 2017 to 2020, right here, it squared your sign, 90-degree angle. Now, if you are a Libra rising, it means it squared your identity. It squared who you are. And squares, 90-degree angles are challenging. So it even challenged you, right? So yes, you were feeling the stress of transforming your emotions from 2017 to 2020, but you were also feeling your emotions, your home, your family, your foundation, all those things, but you were also feeling the stress of transforming your identity, who you are. And the fourth house overlooks the 10th house. So Saturn was opposing your 10th house, business, career. So it even from 2017 to 2020, this house of business and career would have been impacted as well, because Saturn was making a 180-degree angle with it. Right? So now it's easier. Now Saturn is trining your sign. Right? So whatever sort of work you put in the past 3 years, 2017 to 2020, will now start to come about in an easier way. So that's something I wanted to mention, that the 2017 to 2020 transit for you must not have felt very easy, because first Saturn was in your fourth house, where it really does not like to be. Working on your emotions, which is hard anyway, squaring you, 90-degree angle, your identity, asking you to work towards that, affecting your house of career and business. All the most important houses, and even influencing your business partnerships and marriage and legal issues. Because when Saturn must have crossed into your fourth house, it also squared your house of others, your house of marriage, your house of legal issues and business partnerships. So that's something that I wanted to mention. Now, another thing related to this is that there are 4 very crucial houses and 4 very important points in our chart, right? One is this. This is you. This is the people in your life, the relationships, the marriage that you have, the business partnerships. This is your inner core, and this is your career. When Saturn hits one part, enters your fourth house, it affects you, it affects your career, it affects your marriage and business relationships. So this would have been felt throughout your chart. But the good news is now Saturn is in your fifth house, trining 120-degree angle with you, making things easy, helping you reap the rewards for all the work that you put in the past 3 years. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about Saturn. Now the second thing I want to talk about connected to Saturn is the Saturn-Uranus square, 90-degree angle. We are feeling this energy after 21 years, so it's a rare thing. And we will feel it all of 2021, even 2022. And this energy is about, it's like a tug of war. Square is a challenging aspect. It's friction. There's a friction between the old and the new. There's friction between who you think you should be and who you actually are. And this everybody is feeling. Everybody here, right? But for you, this is in your fifth and your eighth house, which means this tug of war, this friction will be felt in your fifth and eighth house matters. Fifth house is love, romance, children, creativity, hobbies, fun, pleasure, all these things. Eighth house is the house of intimate relationships, of investments, of personal karma, of hidden things. So these are the 2 areas that the tug of war between the old and the new is highlighting for you. That's the second thing. Now the third thing that I want to talk about, connected to Saturn, goes back to December of 2020. Saturn and Jupiter met up at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And they meet up once in 20 years. And when they meet up, they begin a 20-year cycle. So for you that started, I'm going to use Aquarius, 0 degrees of Aquarius as your 5th house. Okay. Now this could even be your 4th house, depending on where your rising sign starts, right? So I'm going to talk about the 5th house for this video. There was a new beginning in your house of children, creativity, love, romance, fun, pleasure, which you will set the base for in the next 2 years. However, let me also mention the 4th house. If the conjunction happened, if 0 degrees of Aquarius is your 4th house and the conjunction happened in your 4th house, this new beginning that started in December of 2020 is very much connected to your home, to your deepest emotions, to your family, to your roots, could even be your location, your physical home. And you'll set the base for that new beginning that came about then in the next 2 years. Now the last thing about Saturn. Saturn is doing a lot of things. That's why I'm giving it so much time. Now Saturn here met up with Pluto in Jan of 2020. I'm making this video in July of 2021, so a year and a half ago. And they met up at 22 degrees of Capricorn, which is your 4th house. And they meet up once in 33 to 38 years, and they met up after 38 years. Long time. And they ended a cycle that started in 1982. And the new cycle for you began in your 4th house. 4th house is you, your emotions. It's your home, it's your family, it's your foundation. It could even be a physical location. So a new beginning started to come about in that area of your life. Starting Jan of 2020. And again, we will build this base, I believe, for the next 2 to 3 years. But that beginning that happened, that changed your home, your deepest emotions, could even be a physical home, if in a very powerful way. And if it's not complete yet, it will take 2 to 3 years to set. But we are building on that. It's happening in the background. So that's Saturn, right? That's Saturn. Now, moving on, let's talk about something else that's very important for you, Libra. And that's Pluto. Now, Pluto is an extremely slow-moving energy. It takes 248 years to come back to the same spot, right? And what that means is when it is in a particular house, it's a rare thing. Because one can live 3-4 lifetimes without feeling Pluto coming back to the same spot, right? So for you, Pluto has been in the 4th house. Now again, 4th house is our deepest emotions. It's our home. It's the closest thing to us, right? It's our core. And Pluto is the planet of transformation. It transforms, spiritual transformation. But it is also the process of endings, of beginnings, of healing. Pluto is a very subconscious energy. And it's been in the sign of Capricorn since 2008, which means it's been in your 4th house since 2008 and will continue to be here for a few more years. And when Pluto transits a particular house or hits a planet, it's a total transformation. Whether you like it or not, it's going to transform. And it's subtle. It's slow. Pluto is so slow, right? And it rules our subconscious. It rules the hidden layers that we have. And when Pluto transits a particular house, the goal is complete transformation. The goal is to purify. And that is what it has been doing to your deepest emotions, to your home, to your family, to things connected to your ancestors, to your physical location since 2008. And in the 4th house, Pluto can feel quite difficult because 4th house is our inner core. If it were in a different house, so certain houses can feel easier, right? But the 4th house is our deepest core. That's why I'm emphasizing this. So you would have really felt it. And Pluto in Capricorn did square your sign Libra, square your identity, opposed your career, did what Saturn did from 2017 to 2020, but at a much slower pace from 2008 and will do till 2023, 2024, till it comes into Aquarius. Yeah, so coming back to Pluto, 4th house, yes, transformed it, but it's squaring your sign. Now, if you're a Libra ascendant, Libra sun, Libra Venus, Libra Mercury, a lot of Libra in your chart, you would have felt this Pluto squaring your planets very intensely. And what does it demand? It demands complete transformation. Whether you like it or not, you have to transform. And even your career, business, because it's still in the 4th house. It will take some time to leave your 4th house, and even your spouse, marriage, business partnerships, legal issues. So that's why Libra, you felt it very intensely. Because it's in houses that are very crucial, right? Very, very important houses. Now, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Neptune. Now, Neptune has been in the sign of Pisces since 2011. It'll stay here for a few more years. It's very slow. It's very slow. It takes over 160 years to come back to the same spot. So Neptune has been in your 6th house since 2011. And wherever Neptune is, we feel a sort of, there are two things we might feel. One is a very spiritual, magical feeling. The other is confusion, not being able to see things clearly, being deceived. And that we use in your 6th house. That is the house of health, your job, your day-to-day routine, diet, exercise. So on one hand, something connected to your routine can be very spiritual, for example. Or there's something connected to your diet, your health, your job that you might not be able to see clearly, that you might be confused about. So that's Neptune, and it will stay here for some more time. And for you, Libra, when Neptune crosses the... One second, let me show this to you. Okay. In a few years, Neptune's going to move on and it's going to cross... Okay, we'll not talk about that. We'll talk about it in another video because I want to give this video till 2023. And Neptune is going to be here till 2023, so that's the energy. So that's Neptune. Now let's talk about Uranus. Uranus is in your 8th house. It has been here since 2018 and 2019, around then. I think 2019, but around then. And this will stay here in your 8th house for 7 years, so till 2026. And Uranus basically wants us to be our authentic self. You know, it says, hey, I want you to be who you are. I'll get rid of anything that's preventing you from being who you are, even if you love that thing. That's my job. That's what Uranus does. Or it can say, hey, this is who you are. I'll help something come into your life so that you can become yourself, your unique self. And for you, Uranus has been helping you become yourself through 8th house matters, intimate relationships. There could be an intimate relationship that was preventing you from being you. So it said, hey, this is not working, it needs to go. Or it could be a relationship, intimate relationship that came into your life so that you could be your unique self. 8th house is also investments. It's also personal karmic things. So 8th house can be very open-ended because personal karma is an 8th house thing, right? And Uranus is working on that. It's also the hidden things. It's also the occult things. So if something about that is coming into your life, it's probably because of Uranus. And it's asking you through that thing to become your unique self. And it'll be here till 2026. So that's Uranus, Libra. Now let's talk about, we've done Pluto, we've done Saturn, we've done Neptune, we've done Uranus. Let's talk about Chiron. Chiron is a planet that rules our deepest wounds. It's our wounds. It's also how we heal. But Chiron heals in a bittersweet way. It heals us by wounding us more. Till we reach a point where we say, hey, that used to bother me, but not anymore. No, I'm not ignorant. No, I'm not indifferent. I'm not numb. I've just healed. It doesn't bother me. So Chiron for you is in your 7th house, and this active process of healing, which can feel like a wounding, is happening in your business relationships, marriage, and legal issues. And will continue for some more years. And before that, it was your 6th house. I think Chiron changed signs in 2019. I'm not certain, I'd have to check this, but I think it's 2019. So, before that, this wounding, healing was connected to your diet, health, job, day-to-day routine, habits. So that's Chiron. But more important is where Chiron is right now, right? In your 7th house. And I told you what that means. Now let's talk about the nodes. Then we'll talk about Jupiter. The North Node is in Gemini. The South Node is in Sag, which means they're in your 9th and 3rd house. The South Node is like a karmic cleanup. And it can even activate certain karmic things. And it's coming to your 3rd house after 18.5 years. And in your 3rd house, it is cleaning up karmic matters associated with your thinking, your communication, your immediate environment, your siblings, your peer group. And this has been happening since May of 2020 and will happen till next year, 2022. And the North Node is an activator of sorts. It has activated your house of foreign travel, higher education, adventure, wisdom, knowledge. This is the intuitive knowledge, abstract knowledge, higher thinking, but mainly foreign travel, higher education, because those are tangible things, right? Even belief system is a 9th house thing. So it's been activating that for you. It has been doing it since May of 2020 and will do till next year, 2022. So that's that. And then the nodes are going to move on. And they're going to enter your 2nd and 8th house. Now this is where the karmic cleanup connected to your possessions, your finances, self-worth, values, skills, material things will start to take place. If there's and karmic cleanup is like, if there's some karma that you had to fulfill connected to these things and that's done with, then the South Node will say, okay, it's done, time to move on. And the North Node will activate 8th house things, 8th house karma. And it is the house of personal karma, right? 8th house, intimate relationships, investments, so whatever needs to be activated for you karmically connected to these matters will happen from 2022 onwards, going into 2023 end or even 2024. So that's the nodes. And the last thing that I will touch upon is Jupiter. Now Jupiter takes 12 years to come back to a particular house, right? It's a 12-year cycle. Now Jupiter entered your house, 6th house of health, diet, routine, job, habits on May 13th, 2021, which means it will give you blessings, it will give you healing, it will give you gifts, and it will even bring lessons connected to your job, your health, your day-to-day routine, your diet, your habits, your exercise, all that stuff in the next 1 year till 2023. But in the past, that's what it's going to do till 2023. Till 2022, my mistake. It's going to transit your 6th house from 2021 to 2022. Then in 2022, it is going to transit your 7th house, meaning it is going to give you gifts, blessings, lessons, healing, connected to your marriage, connected to your business partnerships and legal issues. And it will do till 2023. And it has been in your 5th house. From 2020 to 2021 May, it was in your 5th house, giving you blessings, giving you healing, bringing to you lessons connected to love, romance, hobbies, creativity, having fun, pleasure, children. But now the focus, the blessings, the gifts, the rewards, the lessons are for the next 1 year, starting in 2021 May till next year, is about your health, your job, your day-to-day routine, habits, exercise, diet, all these things. So that's the basic energy, the underlying energy of Libra rising. And watch your Libra rising first, then the sun. And if you are an N degree Libra, like 28 degree Libra, then maybe the Scorpio reading will work better for you. Again, this is just a basic overview. A lot depends on your personal chart, where your houses start, where your houses finish, where the planets are for you in your houses, right? There are Libras right now Saturn is still in their fourth house. So it just depends. It just depends on your chart. So just be mindful of that. The goal was this reading was that if this chart is close to you, if you're say a 2-degree Libra rising and you have exact houses and the planets are exactly where they are right now in this chart, slow moving ones, then this will kind of resonate with you. But it all depends on your personal chart. And in this video, I will not talk about these 4, the Sun, Mars, Venus, Moon, and Mercury, 5. That's because they move so fast. They are the day-to-day, right? These are the underlying themes. And the goal of this was so that you can understand, perhaps put into context certain themes, events in your life and why those happen. Because when I learned about my chart like this, like, okay, Saturn's in my 4th house, which means that emotionally it might be challenging or whatever it is, it helped me. So that's why I did this reading. And do hit the subscribe button, do hit the bell icon, and I will see you in one of my other videos. Have a great day, Libra. Bye.